What if nothing around you is truly real? Not your memories, not your world, not even your body. Because the terrifying possibility is this: humanity may not be living in the original reality. And if that sounds impossible, then consider something strange. Every year, humans create worlds that become more realistic. Video games, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, digital people, entire environments simulated by machines. And the deeper technology advances, the more one disturbing question begins to appear. If humans can eventually create conscious simulations, then what are the chances that we are the first real civilization? Because statistically, it would be far more likely that we are already inside one. And if reality is a simulation, then everything changes. History changes, science changes, death changes, even the meaning of existence itself changes. Because the question is no longer, who are we? The question becomes, who created this world and why? Welcome back. On this channel, we explore the deepest mysteries of existence, hidden truths, ancient knowledge, strange theories, and ideas that challenge the limits of human understanding. If you are drawn to the unknown, to mysteries that stay inside your mind long after the video ends, then you are in the right place. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share, because tonight we are stepping into one of the most disturbing theories humanity has ever imagined. The possibility that reality itself may not be real. For most of human history, humans believed reality was simple, solid, physical, permanent. The ground beneath your feet existed. The sky existed. The universe existed exactly as it appeared. But over time, science began revealing something unsettling. Reality is not what it seems. Atoms are mostly empty space. Particles behave differently when observed. Time changes depending on speed and gravity. And at the deepest level, the universe behaves less like a machine and more like information. That alone is disturbing, because information can be processed, stored, manipulated, simulated. And this is where the simulation theory begins. Not as fantasy, but as logic. The idea became widely discussed after philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed a disturbing possibility. If civilizations survive long enough, their technology would eventually become powerful enough to simulate entire realities. Not simple games, complete universes, worlds containing conscious beings who believe they are real. And if even one advanced civilization creates millions of simulations, then statistically, simulated realities would outnumber original realities, meaning the odds of us being inside the base reality become extremely small. And suddenly, the theory no longer sounds impossible. It sounds mathematically probable. But if reality is simulated, there should be signs. And strangely, some scientists believe there may already be, because the universe behaves in ways that resemble computational systems. There are limits, maximum speeds, quantized units, information boundaries, almost as if reality itself has resolution. Like pixels, like rendering, like a system conserving processing power. And perhaps the strangest example involves observation. In quantum physics, particles behave differently when measured. Before observation, they exist as probabilities. After observation, they become fixed, as if reality itself does not fully render until consciousness interacts with it. And while science does not officially claim this proves simulation theory, the similarities are difficult to ignore. But the true psychological horror of this theory is not scientific. It is philosophical. Because if reality is simulated, then everything humans believe about existence becomes unstable. Think carefully about what that means. Every historical event, every war, every empire, every religion, every emotion, every human life could exist inside an artificial system. And if that is true, then the universe may have creators, not gods in the ancient sense, but intelligences beyond our understanding. beings capable of constructing realities themselves. And suddenly, ancient ideas begin looking different. Because throughout history, humans repeatedly described higher beings watching reality from outside ordinary existence. Creators, observers, architects, and perhaps those stories were symbolic attempts to understand something far beyond human comprehension. But there is another terrifying implication. If reality is programmed, then the rules of reality can be changed, and perhaps, sometimes they are. Because humans occasionally experience moments that feel impossible. Glitches, coincidences too precise to feel random. Déjà vu, moments where reality feels unstable. Most people dismiss these experiences, but simulation theorists interpret them differently, not as supernatural events, but as errors, fragments of instability inside the system itself. And while that sounds extreme, the human brain constantly searches for patterns, because deep down, humans sense something strange about existence. Reality feels structured, mathematical, ordered, almost designed. And the deeper science explores the universe, the stranger that structure becomes. Even mathematics itself raises questions. Why does mathematics describe reality so perfectly? Why should abstract numbers predict the physical universe? Unless reality itself is mathematical at its foundation, and mathematics can be programmed. But perhaps the most disturbing possibility is this. If we are simulated, then someone may be watching. Not metaphorically, literally, observing human civilization the way humans observe experiments. And if that is true, then humanity may not fully control its future, because simulated worlds can be paused, reset, deleted, modified. Entire histories could disappear instantly, not through destruction, but through deactivation. And humanity would never know, because from inside the simulation, the system itself defines reality. But there is another possibility, one even stranger. What if humans are not the subjects of the simulation? What if the simulation is testing something else entirely? Consciousness, morality, evolution, decision-making. Perhaps humanity itself is not the purpose, but the process, a temporary stage inside something much larger. And if that is true, then human existence may be part of an experiment beyond comprehension, an experiment so vast that civilizations rise and collapse unnoticed, like brief electrical signals inside an enormous machine. But despite how disturbing this theory becomes, it also creates something unexpected. Meaning, because if consciousness can exist inside a simulation, then consciousness itself may be more important than the physical world. Perhaps awareness is the true mystery, not matter, not physics, but observation itself. Because simulations require participants, observers, minds capable of experiencing reality. And perhaps that is why consciousness remains one of science's greatest unsolved mysteries. Because humans understand technology better than they understand awareness itself. And maybe that is not accidental. Perhaps consciousness is the key to understanding reality. But there is still one final question. If reality is simulated, can humans escape it? Most people immediately imagine physical escape, breaking out somehow, reaching the outside. But perhaps that misunderstands the nature of the system entirely. Because if all human perception exists inside the simulation, then even the concept of outside may be impossible for the human mind to fully understand. Like a video game character trying to imagine the player holding the controller. The system defines the limits of perception itself. And maybe that is why humans feel drawn toward mystery, toward spirituality, toward transcendence. Because somewhere deep inside consciousness, there may be an instinctive awareness that reality is incomplete, that something exists beyond what humans can normally perceive. And perhaps that feeling has followed humanity forever, hidden inside religion, inside philosophy, inside ancient myths, inside modern science. different languages pointing toward the same unsettling possibility, that the visible world is not the full reality. And if that is true, then humanity stands in a terrifying position. Not at the center of existence, but inside a structure it barely understands. A structure that may have creators, rules, limits, purposes hidden beyond human awareness. And perhaps one day, technology itself will reveal the truth. Maybe humans will eventually create conscious simulations of their own. And when that happens, the theory may stop being philosophical. Because once humanity creates artificial consciousness, the question changes forever. Not, could reality be simulated? But, how would we know if it already is? And maybe the answer is this: we wouldn't. And perhaps that is the most disturbing part of all. Not that reality could be artificial, but that humans may never be capable of proving otherwise. Because if the simulation is perfect, then every piece of evidence, every scientific discovery, every human thought would exist inside the system itself. And anything inside the system could be controlled by it. Meaning the search for truth may already be limited before it even begins. But despite that, humans continue searching, questioning, exploring, because something deep inside human consciousness refuses to stop asking why reality exists, why consciousness exists, why the universe feels structured. And perhaps that endless search itself is meaningful. Whether reality is physical, simulated, or something far stranger, the mystery remains. And maybe the true purpose of existence is not simply to live inside reality, but to question it. Because the moment humans stop questioning reality, they stop searching for truth. And tonight, as you look around your world, you may begin wondering, is this truly the original reality? Or are we living inside something created by minds far beyond our own? Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share, because the deeper we explore existence, the stranger reality becomes. And some mysteries may be hidden inside reality itself.